I have been asked to be the spokesman for this Allied Expeditionary Force in saying a word of introduction to what you are about to see. It is a story of the Nazi defeat on the Western Front.
Dark was Europe and the face of man when this begins. The nation had gone mad and struck out everywhere the compass knew.
I was a pre-med student at Johns Hopkins in civilian life. Now I do know a little something about anatomy. And I say it is scientifically impossible for the human body to stand up to the training we received.
I remember coming over, the worst thing about the trip was you didn't know where you were going. Wherever it was, you'd be a stranger, and nobody likes that.
Us bombardiers seemed to do nothing but look down on French bridges those days. We used to ask each other, have you cut any good bridges lately? Well, finally, there was only one whole railway bridge left over the Seine between Paris and the sea.
Across the channel, aware of our resolve, with cold contempt, alerted Germans stood beside their guns, and reinforcements rumbled from the Rhine.
Funny sort of feeling marching down to the ships. We'd done it plenty of times before, of course, on schemes and that kind of thing. They didn't tell us this was the big show. I think we all guessed.
I tried to imagine how much fear I would have, you know, to keep me from doing my job. I suppose everybody else was wondering the same thing.
They called our beach Omaha. Don't ask me why. I've never been to Omaha, the one in Nebraska, I mean. If it's anything like Omaha, France, you can have it.
I was doing close support. We waited around, and then the ground troops would whistle us out and told us about some hand target they wanted removed, and then in we go.
For quite a while, we brought most supplies right over the open beach. Like we'd practiced it, and like we'd made up as we went along. We worked a 24-hour shift. Ducks, lights, rats, rowboats, all sorts of Rube Goldbergs. The stuff just kept pouring in.
It got tougher when we pulled up on the outskirts of Cherbourg. They had great defenses. Then the artillery really carried the ball. For 3 days, we socked it to them. We took Cherbourg on June 25th. The Jerrys had really smeared that harbor.
Caen was the first decent-sized town we had taken, but there wasn't any celebration because we knew nothing had been settled. Jerry was as strong as ever. One of the men said, God, are we going to have to go right across the world doing this to beat them?
There's a lot of places I'd rather talk about than Mortain. That's where I got hit. We've been going great up to there. Some of the guys had even been singing, harmonizing. And then that first German artillery caught us.
The only briefing I gave the chaps was, well, you know where they are. And the only interrogation when they got back was, well, how many did you get?
While the Allies were fighting near Paris, we French soldiers of the Leclerc Division were fighting in the Normandy fields. And suddenly an order came. Go to Paris, it said, and take it.
After that, it seemed the French flag was hanging from every window.
The people of Brussels laughed and cried and threw flowers in the tank and said, "Goodbye, Tommy," when they meant to say hello. Man, they were happy. But I remember wondering then, how the first German civilians would react to us.
I remember one day we were coming across a big flat field. Didn't look like nothing special. I hopped a barbed wire fence and a guy says to me, "Guess what?" So I says, "What?" So he says, "You're in Germany. There's a sign over there says." Then like a dope I thought, well, it won't be long now.
At Arnhem, we got ourselves well dug in, us and some of the posts. We were short of ammo and food. That was our main worry. Towards the end, we knew the situation was bad. We knew we were hemmed in. We knew it was possible we wouldn't get out. More than anything, I remember the way everyone behaved. Men you knew as the toughest fighters became gentle, kind and considerate to each other. I knew a lot more about men after Arnhem.
I covered that battle for the Associated Press. I only wish I could have written the story with the greatness of the men who fought it.
It was vicious and fearsome fighting all the way. It was the kind of fighting that makes legends. The cost of that first ship into Antwerp harbor was the lives of thousands of our bravest men. By that time, we knew we were going to see a winter campaign. There was no way out of it.
Our hunk of the line was the Ardennes. Pretty quiet. A lot of outfits had gone up north. Started a million latrinograms about the where and when of our offensive. Then one day I'm standing guard and these shells start. I thought for a minute this was it. Till I realized these shells weren't outgoings, brother. They were incomings. Next thing I knew, German tanks. It was an offensive, all right, but it was going the wrong way.
To the victor belongs the spoils. That's what they say. Well, what are the spoils? Only this. A chance to be better than before. Maybe the last chance. Remember that.